pressure. But Poirier, he stays sharp, and that was a real testament of how good he is. It was amazing. And now it will be interesting to see how Conor can come back from it. I believe Conor can come back from that loss. He's a kind of fighter. I believe if he fuel himself on confidence. Like when he's confident, that's how he perform at his best. And he like to act confident, like fake it until you make it. And he play a role that he's very confident. Maybe deep down inside he's very scared, but I believe he fuel himself into of that, of that confidence, of that to be loved or hate by the fans, the attention. And now it will be interesting to see how he's going to come back from it. But I believe in Conor. I believe he's going to come back from that. I believe he's capable of overcome that obstacle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you had the loss to Matt Serra as one of your two losses, and you came back from that and you handled that decisively. If you can give Conor McGregor a piece of advice on how to handle that loss and what to do to come back and to likely either avenge that loss, because they're talking about Poirier versus Conor 3, or just get back on his winning ways and become the world champion again, what would be that advice?
I think what I did is I call that a reborn. He need to reborn. To what I mean by that is he need to change things in his training, in his life, that he believe was the cause, one of the cause of his failure. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, as long as he believed it. So in my case, when I lost, for example, to Matt Serra, I drilled myself to believe that I lost to Matt Serra because I underestimated. Maybe I wasn't scared enough. Maybe I didn't put as much as I should do in training. That's what I tried to force myself to believe. Maybe it's not true. But the important is that he believe in it, so he can build up his confidence from it, because he believe in it. It doesn't matter. You need to find what he thinks he did wrong in his previous preparation leading up to the fight, whether if it's his training regarding his life or whatever, and not making the same mistake twice. And it doesn't matter if most of people believe it's bullshit, as long as he believe it himself, his confidence will grow from there, and he will be able to come back a better Conor McGregor, or at least as good as he was, because he's a confidence for a fighter. It's everything. If you have the confidence, if you have the skill but no confidence, it's like having a lot of money in your bank account, but you don't have any way to accessing it. So it's useless. You need the confidence and the skills, and that's when the magic can happen. And confidence for Conor is very important. Not only for Conor, for every fighter, but especially Conor, because that's the way his style of fighting.
Yeah, that's how he carries
himself. The next question comes from Yayo, and he wants to know, to both John and Josh, what advice would you give to Dan Hooker after suffering his most recent loss?
Very simple. First off, he's got to spend some time in Abu Dhabi based upon the quarantine thing. But get home. Just take a couple days off, go back into the gym, not to spar, but just to get movement, to get technique, to work on little elements, and put that fight, put it in the back burner. It's past. You didn't look good. You didn't fight the way that you can fight. And every fighter is going to have those nights. That is just the way it is. You are still an outstanding fighter, and you still have the ability to beat the very best guys there are on a given night. And so you got to put it to the back and say, hey, I didn't perform. It was my fault. I made mistakes, and I'm going to fix those mistakes, and I'm going to move on.
Dan Hooker, when you get home, don't do a thing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you got knocked out. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but guess what? Your brain needs time to recover. Don't heat it up. Lay around. Don't even read books. Don't watch TV. Just really just lay around, go for walks, hang out, go to the beach, do whatever it is that you like to do, but don't do anything that causes your body temperature to rise. Okay. I mean, just given all the history that I've looked into in terms of concussions, brain damage, that type of stuff that causes it after a knockout, is the dumbest thing you can do is get back in the gym and start doing something. If your body temperature rises, it keeps your brain from healing. Take your time. I know you're going to be in Abu Dhabi for 2 more weeks? I think until the 21st, almost 3 weeks. That means just hang around. Don't do much. Don't do anything active. Don't go running for sure. Don't do any shadow boxing. Don't go lift weights. Don't strain yourself at all. Just brain recovery is the most important part. Eat lots of essential fats, all those type of things that will help your brain recover.
Fish oils.
Yeah, fish oils. Yeah, exactly. Macadamia nuts, those type of things that will actually help your body and your brain recover. Take your time. There is no rush to get back. You are 30 years old. You're a phenomenal fighter. Your body style will permit you to become get back into that top conversation of 1, 2, and 3. He's great. I can't wait to see him come back and see what he can do. It just wasn't your night. Your 2 losses you've had now have been to former champions, Dustin Porier being the interim champion and Michael Chandler, being a Bellator former champion. There's no shame in that. It just lets you know that when you're fighting former champions or champions, that you're right there. So you just got to make a couple tweaks. 30 years old, bro. You're still in your prime. Gosh, man, you're still in your prime.
His prime's coming.
Yeah, it's not even that 30, 31, 32 those are your moments. You have 3 years of this. Just get ready to enjoy it. But you have to make sure you take care of yourself. Otherwise, it will go quicker than you think. Even faster if your brain doesn't recover. So just take your time. My advice to him would be that. Don't just move on. Move on, but take your time and recover.
Yeah, I meant to ask on Saturday,